You're the heiress. His face goes white as the contract trembles in his hands. I called you I made you clean my... Behind him, his best friend steps forward, eyes burning with something between fury and heartbreak. She's been here for 6 weeks, Nathan. 6 weeks watching you humiliate the woman your family chose for you. The woman I've fallen in love with. I straighten my borrowed blazer, no longer hiding behind thrift store clothes in silence. The wedding's off, but this story, it's just beginning. I adjust the ill-fitting blazer I bought from a consignment store and stare at the glass tower before me. Hartley Enterprises. Inside is Nathan Hartley, the man my family chose as my husband without consulting my heart. Our grandfathers built empires together, and now they want to merge them through marriage. A business transaction disguised as romance. But I'm Juliet Ashford, and I don't sign contracts without reading the fine print. So I created a false resume, used my mother's maiden name, and landed an assistant position in Nathan's office. My family thinks I'm on a spontaneous European vacation. Nathan thinks he's hiring a struggling college graduate drowning in student loans. The truth? I need to know if the man I'm supposed to marry is someone I could ever love. The elevator rises and my stomach drops. In 60 seconds, I'll meet my arranged fiancé. He has no idea he's already met his bride. Nathan Hartley is everything the tabloids promised. Sharp jawline, expensive suits, eyes like a winter storm. He's also everything I feared. Coffee, black, and if it's not at the perfect temperature, don't bother coming back. He doesn't look up from his screen. For 3 weeks, I'm invisible unless I make mistakes. Then I'm suddenly very visible. He berates me in front of clients for printing single-sided instead of double, criticizes my cheap shoes during a board meeting. When I stay late reorganizing his nightmare filing system, he walks past my desk at midnight without acknowledgement. People like you, he says one morning, tone dripping with condescension, need to work twice as hard to get anywhere. Pity doesn't pay bills. I bite my tongue, thinking of the trust fund I could access with a one phone call, the hotels bearing my family name across 3 continents. Instead, I smile and nod, watching the man I'm supposed to marry treat me like I'm worthless. If this is how he treats people he considers beneath him, I've learned everything I need to know. The wedding will never happen. Then I meet James Kensington. Nathan's business partner arrives during my 4th week, and everything shifts. While Nathan barks orders, James looks me in the eye. You reorganized the filing system. It's not a question. The color coding, the cross-referencing, this is brilliant. Heat rises in my cheeks. Thank you, Mr. Kensington. James, please. His smile reaches his eyes, warm brown eyes that actually see me. And you are. Juliet Ross, I say, using my cover name. Over the following weeks, James becomes the light in my gray days. He asks my opinion during strategy meetings, while Nathan rolls his eyes, brings coffee for both of us during late nights, remembering I take mine with cream and 2 sugars. You're too smart for this position, he tells me one evening, his shoulder brushing mine as we review contracts. My breath catches at the contact, at the intensity in his gaze. Nathan doesn't see it, but I do. You think 3 steps ahead. You caught the error in the Morrison proposal that would have cost us millions. Just doing my job, I whisper, hyper-aware of how close he's standing, how his cologne, something cedar and clean, makes my pulse race. No, James says softly, you're exceeding every expectation. The question is why someone with your abilities is content being underestimated. Because I'm observing, I think. Because I needed to see the truth. But looking into James's eyes, I realize I've discovered something unexpected. The truth isn't just about Nathan's character, it's about what genuine respect, real connection feels like. The disaster happens at the Winston Charity Gala. Nathan's hosting, and he needs every assistant working the event. I'm stationed at the check-in table in my consignment store dress when Nathan spots me. Absolutely not. He grabs my arm, voice low and vicious. You look like you're here to clean, not serve. Wait in the kitchen, out of sight. Shame burns through me, not because I believe him, but because a room full of people just watched him degrade me. I recognize half of them. The Vanderbilt heir, the tech mogul my father plays golf with, my own godmother who doesn't recognize me in my disguise. James appears beside us, jaw tight. Nathan, what the hell? Handling my staff, James. Stay out of it. He dismisses me with a wave. Kitchen. Now. I walk away, head high, even as tears threaten. In the kitchen, I steady my breathing and make a decision. I pull out my phone and text my family lawyer. It's time to end this charade. Nathan doesn't deserve the courtesy of an arranged marriage. He doesn't deserve me. What I don't expect is James following me into the kitchen 20 minutes later. Juliet. My name on his lips sounds like an apology, a prayer. I'm so sorry. That was inexcusable. You don't need to apologize for him. Yes, I do. We're partners. His behavior reflects on me, and He steps closer and suddenly the industrial kitchen feels intimate. I should have said something stronger, should have protected you. I don't need protection, James. I know. His hand lifts, almost touching my cheek, then drops. That's what makes you extraordinary. You don't need rescuing, but you deserve someone who recognizes your worth, who celebrates it instead of diminishing it. Our eyes lock and the air thickens with everything unspoken between us. If you believe someone should see your value without being told, like this video and subscribe for stories about love that's recognized, not earned. Monday morning, I arrive at the office in my usual thrift store attire. But today, there's a folder on Nathan's desk, one I planted. Inside are preliminary merger documents between Ashford Hotels and Hartley Enterprises. Nathan's reading when I enter. Coffee, he says absently, then freezes. Wait, Ashford Hotels. That's... I watch understanding dawn too slowly. He's so convinced of my poverty, of my lesser status, that he can't connect the dots. James walks in, sees the folder, and his eyes snap to mine. Unlike Nathan, James is brilliant. I watch comprehension flood his features, followed by something that looks like pain. Juliet Ross. What's your full name? My heart hammers. Juliet Ross Ashford. Nathan's head whips up. What? Ashford, James repeats, his voice carefully controlled, though emotion flickers beneath. As in Ashford Hotels. As in the family we're negotiating the merger with. As in Nathan's arranged fiancé. I finish quietly. The color drains from Nathan's face. The mug slips from his hands, shattering across his desk. Coffee spreads like spilled truth across the merger documents. No, you're my assistant. You're broke. I'm the woman your grandfather chose for you, I say. The woman you've spent 6 weeks humiliating, degrading, and dismissing. I came here to observe the man I was supposed to marry. I needed to know if you were someone I could build a life with. I look him directly in the eye. You're not. The room spins with tension. Nathan's shock morphs into defensive anger. You lied. You deceived me. I used a different name and wore cheaper clothes. You assumed I was worthless because of how I dressed. Every cruel word, every dismissive gesture, that was your truth, Nathan. I just gave you the opportunity to show it. James hasn't moved, his eyes locked on me with an intensity that steals my breath. You've been here 6 weeks, watching, evaluating. Yes. And every conversation we had, every moment, he stops, jaw working. Was I part of the test too? The hurt in his voice cracks something in my chest. No, James, you were the surprise. I turn back to Nathan. I'm recommending to my family that we cancel the merger and the engagement. You're a brilliant businessman, Nathan, but you're a terrible human being to anyone you perceive as beneath you. I won't bind my life or my company to that. Your family won't listen to you, Nathan sneers, recovering his composure. These arrangements are bigger than one girl's feelings. Actually, James says quietly, they'll listen because I'm going to support her recommendation to my board. Nathan spins on him. You'd sabotage our company because of her? No. James's eyes haven't left mine. I'd sabotage our company because of you. I've watched you berate the most intelligent, capable woman I've ever met. I've stayed silent too long while you've treated people like disposable resources. Juliet didn't just observe you, Nathan. She showed me who you really are and who I've been by standing beside you. He looks at me then, really looks at me, and I see it. The moment respect becomes something deeper, something that makes my breath catch and my heart forget its rhythm. The merger can proceed without a marriage clause, James continues, voice steadier. Our grandfather's friendship doesn't require their grandchildren's sacrifice. And Juliet Ashford deserves better than a man who couldn't recognize her value when it was right in front of him. Later that evening, James finds me on the rooftop terrace of Hartley Enterprises, where I'm watching the city lights blur into constellations. You left before we could talk. His voice is soft, cautious. I turn to face him. What's there to say? I lied about who I was. Did you? He steps closer. From where I'm standing, you were more yourself than anyone I've met. The woman who reorganized chaos into order, who caught million-dollar mistakes, who worked midnight hours not because she had to, but because she cared about doing things right. That was you. Juliet Ross or Juliet Ashford, the woman I fell for, is the same. My heart stops. Fell for? Did you think I didn't notice? His hand lifts, and this time it completes the journey, cupping my cheek with devastating gentleness. How my days started meaning something when you walked into the office. How I invented excuses to work late because those quiet evening hours with you became the best part of my week. James, I know the timing is terrible. I know you probably think I'm just Nathan's better alternative, but Juliet, his thumb traces my cheekbone, and I'm drowning in the warmth of his touch. You're not an alternative. You're the woman who's been reshaping my world piece by piece for 6 weeks. You're brilliant and kind and so far out of my league that I have no business feeling this way, but I do. God help me, I do. Out of your league.
I laugh breathy shaky. James, you're the one who saw me. Not my name, not my family's money, me. Do you know how rare that is? Then give me a chance to keep seeing you. His forehead touches mine, and the city fades until there's only us, only this moment, crackling with possibility. Not as Nathan's partner, not as part of some business arrangement, just as James Kensington, a man who'd very much like to take Juliet Ashford to dinner and spend the next several decades learning everything that makes her smile. If you believe real love sees the person, not the position, subscribe for stories where hearts recognize what eyes might miss.
We start over, properly this time. James picks me up from my actual address, the penthouse he tries not to gape at, and takes me to a small Italian restaurant where nobody knows our names or our net worth. We talk about everything. His childhood dream of being an architect before business school redirected his path. My passion for sustainable hotel development that my family dismisses as youthful idealism. It's not idealism, James says, reaching across the table to lace our fingers together. The simple touch sends electricity up my arm. It's the future, and you're brilliant enough to build it. Over the following weeks, we become partners in every sense. He introduces me to his board not as Nathan's former fiancé, but as an innovative hotel executive with revolutionary ideas about ecotourism. I watch him pitch my sustainability concepts with more passion than he shows for his own projects. "Why are you championing my work instead of your own?" I ask one night in his office, where we've fallen into the habit of working late together. Though now, the electricity between us makes concentration nearly impossible. "Because your work matters more," he says simply. "And because watching you light up when you talk about coral reef restoration programs and solar-powered resorts is the best part of my day." He stands, moving around the desk until he's close enough that I can feel the heat of him. And also because when you get excited, you do this thing where you bite your bottom lip, and it makes me want to what? My voice comes out breathier than intended. His hand slides into my hair, tilting my face up. "Kiss you until neither of us remembers why we're supposed to be working." When his lips finally meet mine, it's everything. Gentle and consuming, respectful and passionate, a question and an answer all at once. This isn't the arranged marriage I was running from. This is the love I never knew I was running toward. The obstacle comes from an unexpected direction: my family. "James Kensington." My father's voice crackles through the phone. "Juliet, he's Nathan's partner. This looks like revenge, like you're sabotaging the merger." "I'm not sabotaging anything, Dad. I'm following my heart." "Your heart." My mother's voice joins the call. "Sweetheart, we chose Nathan for specific reasons. The Hartley name, the business synergies." "You chose Nathan without knowing him," I interrupt. "James is twice the businessman Nathan is, and he's actually a good human being. He sees people as people, not assets." "It's been 2 months, Juliet." My father sighs. "How can you be sure this isn't just rebellion?" The question haunts me as I sit in my penthouse that night, staring at the contract my family's lawyer sent over. They're threatening to block the merger entirely, to pull out of all Hartley business unless I reconsider the arranged marriage. If I don't comply,
James's company suffers. When knock on my door comes at midnight, James stands in the hallway, eyes wild. I heard about your family's ultimatum. How did you? Nathan told me, gloating. He steps inside, and I can see the war raging behind his eyes. Juliet, you need to sign the contract. My heart cracks. What? Your family's right. We've known each other 2 months. I can't let you blow up generational business relationships for something so new, so uncertain. Stop! I grab his face, forcing him to look at me. James Kensington, don't you dare. Juliet. No, listen to me. Tears sting my eyes, but my voice is steel. I spent 6 weeks watching a man who had everything treat people like nothing. Then I met you, a man who treats everyone like they're everything. You want to know how I'm sure? Because you're standing here telling me to choose business over love. You're trying to sacrifice your own happiness for mine. That's not uncertainty, James. That's everything. His hands cover mine, trembling. If you lose your family's support, then I'll build my own empire, I say fiercely, with a man who believes in me, who sees me, who loves me for exactly who I am, unless fear flickers through me. Unless you don't feel the same way. Don't feel? He laughs, the sound broken and beautiful. Juliet, I'm completely, catastrophically in love with you. I'm just terrified I'm not worth the cost. You're worth everything, I whisper. Let me prove it.
The board meeting happens 3 days later. Nathan sits smugly beside his grandfather while my family watches via video call, certain I'll cave to pressure. I don't. I'm declining the arranged marriage, I announce. However, I'm proposing a better merger. One between Ashford Hotels and Kensington Development. James's head snaps toward me. We discussed this, but seeing his shock reminds me this is real. This leap we're taking together. James Kensington is launching his own firm, focused on sustainable luxury developments. Ashford Hotels will be his anchor client and primary investor. We're building the future of ecotourism together. You're choosing him over your family? My father asks, voice tight. I'm choosing partnership over ownership, Dad. James doesn't want to own me or my company. He wants to build something meaningful with me. There's a difference. Nathan scoffs. This is ridiculous. You barely know him. I know him better than I ever knew you, I cut him off. In 2 months, James learned my coffee order, my dreams, my fears. In 6 weeks, you never once asked my name preference, just called me you, an assistant. James sees people, you see functions. That's why your company will stagnate, while ours revolutionizes the industry. I stand, moving to James's side. His hand finds mine, fingers interlacing like they belong there. The Ashford-Kensington merger proceeds without a marriage clause. Our business partnership is built on mutual respect and shared vision. If that's not enough for this board, we'll build somewhere else. The room holds its breath. Then James's grandfather, the quiet man who built Hartley Enterprises from nothing, starts laughing. Finally, he says, someone with sense. My grandson couldn't see a diamond when she was polishing his desk, but you did, James. I vote yes on this merger. As do I, my mother said softly through the screen, tears in her eyes. Juliet, your father and I chose wrong. We chose a name over character. But you chose better.
6 months later, we break ground on our first property, an eco-resort in Bali that operates on pure solar power and works with local communities. James wraps his arms around me as the sun sets over the future we're building. "Any regrets?" he murmurs against my hair. "About giving up the arranged marriage? About all of it? The disguise? The drama?" Not one. I turn in his embrace, rising on tiptoes to kiss him. "That disguise brought me to you. Sometimes the best things in life are the ones we discover when we're searching for something else." Then I'm grateful you were looking. And I'm grateful I finally learned to see. Nathan's company merged with a competitor last month. He's still successful, still wealthy, still cruel to his assistants. But we don't think about him much anymore. We're too busy building something better, a business that values people, a love that celebrates partnership, and a future where worth isn't determined by appearances, but by the content of one's character. I found my happy ending not in the man my family chose, but in the one who chose to see me, really see me, every single day. And that makes all the difference. If this story reminded you that true love recognizes value even in disguise, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. What would you do if you met your soulmate while pretending to be someone else? Because the best love stories aren't about perfect timing. They're about perfect people finding each other at exactly the right moment.